Okay, we're ready to put her back together. Let's start with the camshaft. Or actually, let's start with the tappets. I can find them. I don't think I've cleaned them up yet. They didn't get the gas bath, so just a minute. Alright, clean them up a little bit. I marked which one was the intake and which was the exhaust. This is the intake. And there. This is the exhaust. Oh, so now the camshaft. One thing we got to do on the camshaft is notice where that mark is, and you can see it right there. Nice line. Till you put it in, of course. Then, which way does this thing go? Like this, I reckon. That goes right in. Okay, now I got to get the shaft. Alright. Went in pretty nice. Till I hit the cam. There it goes. Now it's going to hit the other side of the crankcase. It also has a little cap. It goes on this side. Right in there. Doesn't seem to fit as easy as I thought it would, but right here. There's a little dude in it. Oh, now I have another little dude in it. Okay, this might be a pain in the butt. It kind of doesn't seem like it should go there, but that's where it came from. At least I think. Get in there. Get in. Get. Nope. Okay, I'm gonna have to fool with this. Okay, we got it. This side's nice and flush. I just went back and looked at the manual to make sure it was right, and it wasn't. It actually goes on this side, on the drive side, on the magneto side as opposed to the drive side. So that's all set. Not sure what's next. Don't know. Okay, crank's next. Try to find the mark on it. Okay, it's there. And I made a little paint dot on it so that I can see it. And it's got to line up with the one on the cam, which I also put a little paint dot on. And we'll see if we can get the two to marry. Okay, I got a little bit of lube on it and it slid a lot better. So now there's no way you're going to see it. But, well, maybe you can. Well, maybe you can't. I get the light in this way. Now, I guess you have to take my word for it that the two are lined up perfectly. So next is going to be valves. This might be trying, but that was the intake, and this is the exhaust. The exhaust had a little bit of writing on it, that's how I remember. Cleaned up pretty good. I think it should work. But of course that's easy to plop them in. What's next is the springs, and I kind of mix these springs up. But the heavier one goes on the exhaust. You can kind of tell a difference, and the lighter one goes on the intake. And I got a feeling I'm going to fight with those a little bit, so hang on. Okay, what I've done is I've scooted the springs in there. I pulled the valves back up a little bit, and you have the tappet sticking up, and you have the valve keeper up here, and you got to kind of squish the spring in there. Now I got to try to get the keepers in there, these guys, squish them up and stick a pin through it, and that's there's going to be some swearing going on, I'm sure. But what I did was I made a tool, another tool, sort of like the first. Here it is. For a brand new made tool, it's pretty grungy, huh? But I'm thinking if I can get this, push this in under the springs here, then the valve will be sticking down in here, and I'll be able to put the pin in with some needle nose through the bottom of the valve stem. So we'll see how that works. I guess I'll leave the camera going, but I don't know if you're going to be able to see it because it's... well, hang on. Okay, I'm realizing something. I should have put the springs and the keepers on before I even put the tappets in. It would have been a heck of a lot easier. So I'm going to go back to square one. I'm going to pull them out and do it the right way. Okay, I started all over again. I pulled the crank and the camshaft out, and what I've done, see if you can see this. Let me see. Can you see this? So no tappets in there, valves in there. I put my little piece of plastic tool there, so right now I should be able to insert the pin in no problem at all. So my fancy tool didn't seem to work, but I think this one will work fine. So I'll turn you back on after I get the valves in. So once again, this one was a little tougher because the spring's a little heavier. We got the PVC plastic underneath it so I can slide that pin in like I did on the other one. Okay. Tra-la! They look good. So it makes sense now to put in the tappets. Because with the tappets up there and the cam in place, I mean, you would have had to fight with them, so... Okay. Okay, all's good. Crank's back in. Cam's back in first. Everything looks good, so it's time to put in the piston. And I marked the piston with a little arrow. I don't know if you can see it right there beforehand. And I'd like to keep the bottom part of the connecting rod going the same way as it was. So we'll undo that. Have it facing forward like that. Okay, we're nice and lubed. Lube on that, face it forward. And this can be a real pia sometimes. Sometimes you like pinch your skin or scream bloody murder. I'm going to use this punch and the screwdriver. The punch I like because it's kind of blunt. You can hold in the ring. Already a groan. Kind of like with a third hand. Okay, no punch. We'll go with the screwdrivers. Use my chin. Gross. Come on, baby. There's one. greasy chin. Okay. Oh, another thing, these rings should be kind of staggered off from each other so that they're not all in a line. They will move around, I'm pretty sure, over time. Let's see if that's good enough. No. Let's get this guy a little more. Oh. I think I got that one. Yeah, there's two. Kind of weird how these go in. Okay. Let's see if we can get three. I think this one's going to go right in. Using my gut. There it is, baby. That's in. Straightforward. Now we'll put it on the connecting rod. I mean on the crankshaft. We'll flip it around this way and bolt it up. Okay. There we are. I'm gonna put this on. It's the oil splash there. Splashes the oil at the bottom of the sump. Now I have no idea what the spec is on the torque for this. But we'll tighten them up so they feel right. Okay, the piston's in. I just gave it a good tight. Now these tabs here have to be bent up so that it ensures that the bolts don't move. So I'm going to do that, and then we're going to be onto the sump. Okay, if you take the pliers and you just get them in there on the tab and give it a squeeze, that works pretty good. Okay, here's that gasket that I made and the locating pin that I made. And which way is front, which way is back? Yeah, that looks right. Yeah. Okay. Just need to bolt it down. Okay, before I do that, I've been told, and I'm not positive if this is true, I've tried it on a few others, but I haven't pulled the engines apart since, because they actually work, that if you grease a gasket on both sides, they won't stick when you go to pull it apart, and so you won't rip another gasket. So I don't think you need to watch me do this, but okay, well that's all done. I didn't put oil in it yet in case I gotta pull it apart. Okay, this seal was oozing a little bit, but I mean you never know why it was oozing, and I don't have one, and I'm not gonna order one. I can't even find one. But sometimes, you know, if oil gets really thin, then it starts to ooze. Just, you know, if you change your oil once in a while, then it wouldn't ooze, because it doesn't break down that much. Okay, I'm going to mount this plate. Okay, I got that plate on. Haven't set the points yet. I got to go look up and see what they are. And I put in this little PVC thing here. I think one of the tabs that sticks down into the hole there is broken off, but I got one left. And I'm pretty sure I have it set up right. I'm Put the head on with about 3 bolts. I think I got this thing on that crankcase ventilation thing right. If not, I'm going to pull this off later. I don't know where I'm going to find reference to that. But 7/16. It's like I want to take a break, I just can't stop doing this. Oh, the gasket just fell down. Okay, you get the idea. Set the points to 0.01. Should be good. I'm ready to put on the flywheel now. And put on the cup and the washer. This is always a mystery to me because it's convex, concave, whichever. I think it makes more sense to put it on like this. I'm sure somebody will tell me, no, it's the other way. And it's reverse threads. Put that on. The impact driver. I gotta get a real hammer. Alright, I had to make a couple of bolts that were missing for the head, and actually one was in pretty bad shape. So some of the threads in this in the cylinder are not very good, but now they feel much better than they were, a lot more substantial. So I think I got decent torque on that. Flywheel's on, and just a shroud. I'm going to clean the carburetor. I'm going to wait till I can do that outside because it already smells like gas in the basement here enough. So let me see, I'll put on the shroud and then carb clean. While I was looking at the carburetor, it turned out the screw, and the screw kind of sheared off. That's not good. I can sort of make it hold. Maybe enough to get it started, maybe not, but man. Alright, another rainy day, but I do want to try the engine. Let's see what happens if we just do this. Done nothing else yet, that's just straight gas. The throttle cranked open a little bit. Actually not much at all, but we'll see. And we'll put the choke on. Choke open. What the heck's that? Let me put my hand on it. Well, that doesn't sound promising, does it? Choke open. A kick, not a sputter, nothing. Maybe check for spark, huh? Alright, I'll check for spark. There we got spark. Gas down the spark plug hole. Does not want to go. Nothing. Don't know. Okay, I brought it inside. I've been fooling with it, trying to start it inside, just because it's raining out. Looks like it just doesn't have any compression, and I don't know why. Those valves seem to sit pretty well. The rings look good. There's no wiggle in the piston at all. I put my thumb over the spark plug hole and pull a rope, and there's just no compression up there. I just swapped out the gaskets, the head gaskets. This was the one that it came with. Like I said, I was suspicious of it, but I mean, it seals the cylinder, I think. And now I just tried the one that I made, which looks like it seals pretty good too, and still no compression in there. I don't know what's going on, so anybody knows, let me know. I may put this one on the shelf because I'm pretty frustrated at this point.